You're the car that got me back into Tesla, and you were the stepping stone. You were the transition piece to this. You know, these carbon fiber add-on parts, they add 5 miles an hour to the car. 25 horsepower, proven fact. I gotta tell you, that Carmax sign on the back of my car, that's coming off, pal. You know that. You know that. You can't say that officially, but that's just me. That's my own prerogative. We had some good times in this car. This may be your last time ever in this particular Tesla. You've got anything to say to Buzz Lightyear? Welcome to another episode of Out of Spec Dave, where today I got a phone call from my salesman at Carmax here in East Haven, and guess what has come in? Yes, folks, there it is, the 2021 Tesla Model S, and I'm excited to check this car out. Now, I'm not taking delivery tonight. I'm just making sure that it actually exists and that I like it. Hopefully in a couple days, I'll be able to take delivery of this new puppy. So stick with me on Out of Spec Dave for another great episode. Look at this thing. I'm so darn happy. So here we are with what is going to be my new car. I'm very excited. I just FaceTimed Kyle. I said, hey Kyle, what do you think? And the first thing he said was, you gotta lose those mud flaps. Well, like, what's the deal with the mud flaps right there? And I don't know. Mud flaps? I kind of like them. Then he's like, okay, this car's lived a hard life. He said, you got to lose the fake carbon fiber mirror caps and whatever this thing is, carbon fiber. And once again, I don't know. I kind of like it. And then he said, we got to lose the wheels and the tires. We got to put some nice Martian MW05s on there, but I don't know. I kind of like them. So then we got to see about that. And then he said, you got to lose the Carmax sticker. Whoa, not electric. And he said, you got to lose the Carmax sticker. And I 1000% agree with him on that. But overall, this looks like I don't know. I love the blacked out trim. I'm so happy. You know, what happened was I was reading about this car and I thought it was white. And then when I saw something in the material, it said it was white with ivory. And I said, ivory? I don't want ivory seats. I mean, I have them, they're nice, but I want a white car. So I came out here and sure enough, the seats are definitely white. I mean, you look at the doors. This material over here is beautiful. I love that. You know, we've got the George Jetson yoke going on. This car definitely has the full self-driving version of software upgraded on it, but you know, it's just because the guy must have done a subscription. It doesn't have the full-blown autopilot. So yeah, I'm loving this. There's some floor mats. I don't know. Those don't look standard to me. Maybe they are. I don't know. But manufactured in October. When was this? October of 21. I know they started delivering them in June of 2021. So it's not one of the first batch cars. But yeah, 93 grand. 22,500 miles, and I'm not sure if these taillights are blacked out or if that's just the way it is. I opened up the hatch just to check it out. Hatch doesn't creak or rattle or roll, at least not yet. And there is charging cable, which I'm happy about, back in there. And there also is a J1772 to Tesla adapter in the car, which is a nice little find as well. So yeah, I'm happy I came out here tonight to East Haven, drove up from Darien, and looking forward to taking delivery. It's Tuesday night. I think I'm going to pick it up on Thursday. And yeah, I'm very happy. Loving this. One of the things that I was I wanted to remember, I knew when I drove Kyle's car that my knee and my existing 100D, it jams up against the 17-inch monitor. But you can see here in this car, it doesn't. And so I love that. Kath, can I borrow your phone for a second?
For what?
I want to just check out the, you see this down here? This is where the wireless, yeah, see that? Look at that. Now it charges and charges wirelessly, which is great right there. So you can have one phone on this side, one phone on that side. That's a great spot for the phone. And I hope it doesn't overheat them. But this is really nice. I love this setup here. I didn't really pay that much attention to it when I was driving Kyle's car. But you got some, I guess you can put the cup holders out, and then it's got nice deep pocket in underneath there in the armrest. I know Miss Bailey's gonna sit right up here. So yeah, I think it's looking great. And you know, I had mentioned that the roof comes very far forward in this car, and I do see that and feel that. It's got a very nice open feel. And the yoke, I'm gonna have to get used to that. So all right, I think we're out of here, honey. Let's let me go home, go to sleep, and dream about Thursday night when I can pick this up and make it my own. And the other day when I came here, I said there were not a lot of cars here. There are a lot of, how many cars do you have here? Do you know?
Oh, maybe 300-400.
300 or 400 cars here. So if you're looking for a car, come on down to East Haven Carmax, because they've got 300 or 400, less one, because you can't have mine. Nope, you can't have mine. Have a good night, car. So here I am charging my 100D, and I'm at I don't even know what state of charge, but basically 26 miles left here. It's 78 degrees out. The battery pack is not hot, it's not cold. Here I am on a V3, and I'm pulling, it just jumped up to 70, 71. I mean, I just don't understand why this car charges so poorly. It's as if someone at Tesla said, hey, let's make Dave's car charge so poorly that he'll buy a new one. All right, it's starting to ramp up a little bit now, 82. Like I said, the most I've ever seen this car charge was 161. And, you know, it's starting to kick up a little bit here. I'm going to watch this for a moment. Let me flip it over to percentage state of charge. Now we're starting to kick up. Okay. Why did it take so long? Maybe because you were very low. No, I know, but it should pour the energy in. Here we go. 128, 130. All right, I'm going to stick with it here. Let's see. Just to me, that's such strange behavior. All right, so here we are at a 14% state of charge. 152. That's the max I've seen on this session, on this V3. Well, Bailey. Hey, Bailey, over here. Hey, listen, we had some good times in this car. This may be your last time ever in this particular Tesla. You've got anything to say to Buzz Lightyear? Huh? Anything to say? No? Come on, puppy. Last words of wisdom? You're not going to miss the cream interior. You like the white interior, don't you? So here we are at 120, pulling 120 kilowatts at a 27% state of charge. I think I've made my point. So as I'm about to unplug here at a 53% state of charge on a V3, the Model S 100D, it's only pulling 88 kilowatts. You can hear the AC cranking away, 78 degrees outside. Yeah, I think it's time. Bailey, what do you say? Will you go out and unplug for me? Huh? Come on, girl, get out there and unplug. So here I am on collection day. I love these days. These are a lot of fun. So the other night, Kathy and I, we drove out to East Haven to check out the new Model S. It's new to me, 2021. And, you know, it looked great. There were a couple little things with it here or there, but what I wanted to do was just to kind of reminisce a little bit about this
my existing Model S 100D. I've had it for a whopping, I think, maybe 58 days, somewhere in there. Kathy picked it up down in Florida from an Infiniti dealer out in somewhere near Miami. Drove over. Some of you maybe who've watched the video, you'll know that I picked up her GV60 up here in Connecticut, and she picked up my Model S down in Florida. And you know what was sort of a little bit upsetting to me was the fact when I ended up getting the car, she's like, when she got the car, the navigation didn't work on the car. And so the question was, why didn't the navigation work? Well, it turned out the whole car had been disconnected from the cellular network for over 10 months. It was running a super old version of software, and I couldn't get the car connected. So I put a hotspot on my cell phone. All of a sudden, the car recognized the Wi-Fi, downloaded the latest software version, and ever since then, the software's worked perfectly. So, which has been great. And so, you know, Kathy kept it for the rest of the summer down in Florida, and she kept telling me that when she would go supercharge it in Naples, Florida, it would take her an hour. And I said, it doesn't take an hour to supercharge a Tesla. This is a Model S 100. It's got to be fast charging, and that's a V3. You know, it's going to be pulling 250. And I guess I had been outside the Tesla community for a while, and I guess maybe I just kind of assumed that it would charge faster than it did. Years ago, I had a P85 Plus Model S that I loved, Midnight Silver, and that charged horribly. I know that I think there may even be lawsuits about that battery pack and the way it got nerfed. So I basically didn't really believe that it was charging as slow as it was until I got down to Florida and tested it out myself. And this car just really didn't charge that fast. I wasn't sure if it was because the battery pack was warm or cold. I didn't know. On my road trip home from Florida to Connecticut with Bailey, that's when I made the decision that I'm going to make the leap and I'm going to go for the more expensive Tesla. What I learned is the Model 3s and the Model Ys, they have the far superior technology in them in terms of the batteries, in terms of the charging. And so, you know, the yoke, the horizontal steering wheel, all that stuff it's nice, but the car basically looks the same. It's got some refinements. I love the design of the Model S. And I've always loved the design. It's a timeless design, but they've refined the outside for the trained eye. You can kind of really pick out that it's a new Model S versus an old. But you know, nothing wrong with this car. I love the seats that are in it. It does creak because I'm a big guy. I put the seat all the way back, and in the bumps I hear the leather creaking against the center console. But it's little things, like my coffee cup goes all the way down in the center, or I can pull these back and I can put the coffee cup here and choose whether or not I use the armrest or have my coffee there. In the new model, they've thought it through, the ergonomics, and I think it's much better the way they have the layout. But the charging was really what I'm all about. That plus, when I did a test to charge this car all the way to 100%, and now out of the factory, this car was 330 miles of Tesla rated range, which, you know, we all know they push it a little bit and exaggerate what their mileage will be. But I expected to at least show 300 miles of range, 68,000 miles on the car now. You're going to have a little bit of battery degradation. And it did. It showed about 305. But realistically, in the cold weather, in the wintertime, you know, it's going to be a 250, 270 mile range car at the most. And, you know, when I think about it, that's not that much more than either my Ioniq 5 was at, let's say, 210, or Kathy's GV60, probably a similar range in the cold, and maybe even a little less in the cold and at speed. But, so, you know, faster charging speed for the refresh Model S, plus rated range of 405 miles. So the new car
I think is a 103.9 usable kilowatt hour battery pack versus the battery pack that's in this car of 95 kilowatts. The fact that this car is out of warranty, the one that I'm buying is only 7 months old, so it's got high mileage for a relatively new car. Build date of this car was October of 2021, delivered in December of 2021. It's got a 4-year, 50,000 mile warranty fully on the new one. And so look, I think that this was a stepping stone car. From the beginning, I was going to name the car Holdover, and part of the reason why I was going to name it Holdover, I did name it Buzz Lightyear, but part of the reason why I was going to name it Holdover was because I still actually do have an order in for the new Model S, a 2022, same exact configuration as what I'm picking up today, and out the door, that car would have been 108 with destination, and I'm paying 93 for the car that I'm picking up today. So $15,000 less, 22,000 miles, 1 year older, but it's basically the same car. In fact, I called Tesla, my local store, and I said, hey, is there really any material difference between the one that I'm getting and the one that is brand new? And I think they might have like a swivel adjustment on the new center screen on the new one that maybe my car doesn't have. They may have adjusted the headlights a little bit, the tail light a little bit, or perhaps the charging flap a little bit. I'll have to check that out to see. But for the most part, it's basically the same car. And what am I gaining? I'm gaining a car that's under warranty. I'm gaining a car that only has 23,000 miles. I'm gaining at least an extra 100 miles of range. And I'm also gaining a lot faster charging speed. Plus, it's got the yoke. So I hope I like that. I did drive Kyle's Plaid in Colorado a month or so ago. I didn't really tell you much about the experience with Carmax, but they've been really quite wonderful and very professional to deal with. From the moment I found the car on the website, I got a person on the line to actually help me reserve the car. They explained the process because the new car was out in Wisconsin, and they said, look, you're going to pay $599 to have the car shipped to Connecticut, and you'll take a test drive in the car, and if you like the car, then you buy the car. If you don't like the car, you lose $599. And the price was the best I could find on the internet for a refreshed Model S. So, but I will tell you, I got a user ID, I got a password. They gave me email, text updates as the car was making the journey from Wisconsin all the way to Connecticut. I could see where it was on the map. It was in Buffalo, it was in Rochester.
They do a good job.
They do a great job, and so we'll see how the delivery goes today. But so far, they helped me with financing. They talked to me a little bit about the options for an extended warranty, and I just kind of...
They're selling you a car. They're all things every car dealer should do.
Right. No, I get that, but, I kind of chuckled when they were trying to sell me an extended warranty on a car. I don't, that does not compute to me, but, in this particular situation... Yeah, no, absolutely, but overall, CarMax has really done a good... They gave me a fair value for the car, and I'm pretty happy, so... But, yeah, so what...
I bought a couple cars from them, or at least sold them a couple cars. I think I bought my i3, one of my i3s from them.
Yeah.
And I got really, really enjoyed it. I bought my orange one.
Oh, yeah.
And, what was so great about that? That car had a ton of issues with the range extender, and, do you remember? And they basically just bought it back for what I paid for it after 20,000 extra miles.
I remember that. I didn't realize that was CarMax that did that. Okay.
Yep, and they were really good to me, so love CarMax.
Hey, Kyle, by the way, I'm going by the Fairfield, Connecticut, Tesla Superchargers and all that right now. And those 2 units that they put up, I thought those were Electrify America stations. I did a little more research. They are not. But since I was there, they have a whole chain link fence around them, and they're definitely doing some work. It's really the state of Connecticut is putting in these. I think they're BTC units that are going in.
Are the old the old crappy BCC hardware. Like, leave it to the government to install literally the worst possible charging station.
Well, so when you say the worst, you mean from a reliability standpoint, or what's the output on those things?
Yeah, output's fine, but man, do they really suck. It's just like, okay, maybe they can put them in, but think about how much downtime EA has had with those units and others, and they have to constantly deploy people to do it. Is the state of Connecticut going to maintain their chargers? That remains to be seen. We don't know. But I can tell you one thing that's for sure, it's just like, you got to spend all this money to put in chargers right now, but there's no good hardware on the market. EA is buying all the good stuff, and then all the leftovers are just crap, really. We really need electronic units in the U.S.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Sorry to have such a police approach on it, but I was just editing my Model S road trip, which went live this morning. My first road trip in the Plaid, and I was like, oh, A, really missed that car. Can't wait to get it back. So awesome. And B, the Tesla Supercharging network is world class. It is so good.
There you go. That's why I'm picking up my Tesla today, right?
Yeah.
It was good talking to Kyle. He had to jump. And so here we are in Bridgeport on the way up to East Haven to pick up this rig. And just to focus back on this Model S, been a great car. I've enjoyed it. It's very smooth. The ride in these Model S's is so far superior to the Ys or the 3s. Why? Air suspension. Now, what's interesting is the Lucid Air, from everything I've heard, does not have an air suspension. And so, how they're actually to create such a good ride with the Lucid Air, I'm not sure. Now, I haven't driven the Lucid Air yet. I've only heard from people that have, and they say it's actually quite good. Kyle, I think, is going to be getting a Lucid from a viewer for the next couple of weeks, and he'll be testing it out. He'll let me know what he really thinks of it. I do have an order in, like I mentioned before, for the Model S. There is no way I'll be buying the new Model S. I'll probably keep that order in just to see when it comes in. They said December to February. It's a white, just like the one that I'm getting, but it'll be $108,000 plus tax. And yeah, that's just probably not going to happen. What might happen though is the Lucid Air Pure, that order is still out there, and it'll be interesting to see when Lucid actually starts producing these lower cost cars. I think they're around 88,000, and I did lock in my $300 deposit into a contract with Lucid that I'm hoping maybe I got it in right before the Inflation Act, whatever, was passed, 48 hours before it was passed. So we're hoping that I may be able to get the $7,500 tax credit. So depending on how much I love this new Tesla that I'm getting, the feedback from Kyle in terms of how the Lucid is as a car. Now, obviously, he'll be driving a Dream Edition, which is going to have, I think it's 19-inch wheels. That'll have the 520 mile of range EPA, dual motor, crazy horsepower. The one that I would be getting is a rear-wheel drive, pure model, no glass roof, but still the same shell, the same car. But depending on his feedback, I may decide next year, we'll see how things are going, that maybe I'll trade the Model S that I'm getting today in on that. But, I'm not sure I'd be gaining much. Range, I wouldn't be gaining anything in terms of range. They're both basically rated at 405. The one thing is that the Lucid does come with 3 years of free Electrify America charging, DC fast charging, which will be great. Nothing will charge like, I'd be curious to know though, the Lucid Air, we're hearing that thing is pulling considerably north of 300 kilowatts at peak. I can't wait to see what the charging curves look like, how far, how quick do they taper and all of that. Once Kyle gets a hold of it, we'll figure that out. But I think that nothing is really going to charge quite as fast, but we're only able to charge the dual motor cars with the big battery pack. So, I don't know how the rear wheel drive Lucids will charge, and
what they will do peak and what they'll do as far as taper. So we'll have to kind of see that. But you know, look, I think it's for today. I'm focused on one thing and one thing alone, which is picking up my beautiful white on white Model S 2021, and I'm real super excited. Very lucky to be able to do this and enjoy the good things in life. Although I wish I didn't have to pay for supercharging. Anyway, next up, Carmax, East Haven.
We have arrived at Carmax here in East Hartford. No, what am I saying? East Hartford. East Haven, Connecticut, which is just east of New Haven, Connecticut. And I'm sitting in my 100D. One of the things that's very important to do when you get rid of a car or you sell one of these Teslas is to do a factory reset. And it's pretty simple. What you do is you go over here to service and you click on factory reset right there. And it's probably going to ask you, are you sure you want to do this? You have to sign in with your Tesla account. So hold on one second. Okay, so I logged into my Tesla account and it says, are you sure you want to erase your personal information and restore settings to the factory defaults? This cannot be undone. So if you're transferring ownership of this Model S, contact Tesla to transfer mobile app access to this vehicle to the new owner. So I'm not going to do that. Obviously, I'm trading this car in here at Carmax, but I will remove the car from my app as well. So let's go ahead and do this. We'll hit the factory reset. It's going to take a little bit of time to see the T. So you can see here at Carmax, they have a number of Teslas, and they also have at least one level 2 charging station over here. It's a blink system, and I guess I don't know if they've got one or two, but the interesting thing about this company that I'm quite fascinated with is, I mean, here's a 2021 Model 3 long range. I'm not going to argue whether or not the price is good or bad, but one of the things that they do here at Carmax is they've really perfected the art of taking pre-owned, pre-loved, call them used cars if you want, and turning it into almost like a new car buying experience. So when you look around at this lot here, and it's quite bright and sunny, but there's over 300 cars here on this lot. And these are really nice cars. I mean, there's Beamers and there's Mercedes and there's a whole line of pickup trucks over there. But the peace of mind that you have by perhaps maybe you're going to pay a little bit of a premium because you're getting this car buying experience, and like I said earlier, the experience has been nothing but flawless with this company. And look, I'm sure there are issues that people have from time to time, but how can you go wrong if they allow you to do a 24-hour test drive? Take the car home, make sure it fits in your garage, make sure that you fit in the car, you can get in and out comfortably. A 30-day, no question asked return, as long as the car comes back in pretty much the same exact condition, up to 1,500 miles. And you know, for all of this, there's a no haggle price. Again, the price may be a little inflated. In my deal, I don't think it was inflated at all. I think I paid a very fair price. And so I'm actually very pleased with the business model. Now, one can think up a business model, and then the other thing is to actually execute on it and deliver. And so far, since I've arrived here today, I've been greeted by my salesman. I spoke to the sales manager, and you know, everyone that I've been dealing with, they're very excited about me taking delivery of this car. Look, to be honest, this is probably the most expensive car I've ever bought in my life. It's not a new car. This is a special experience for me, and they're making me feel that way. So I'm very pleased so far. I'm going to be meeting with the delivery specialist who's going to go over all the paperwork with me, all the details. But one thing that's interesting is that because of the 30-day money-back guarantee, a lot of people don't actually take a test drive. So what I have today is, the other night when I came, I just saw the car. I didn't want to test drive it at night. So today, before I actually finalize the deal, I've already secured all the financing, the paperwork is all done. It's as if we are proceeding with this deal. I'm going to be transferring the plates from my existing Model S 100 over to the new car, but they're going to let me take it out for a test drive. And if after the test drive, for whatever reason, I decide I don't want the car, I can walk away from the deal. And again, the $599 that I paid to have the car shipped from Wisconsin to here in Connecticut, yeah, I'd lose that. But you know what? I think that's extremely fair. And so I'm excited about this process. I want to talk to my delivery specialist a little bit about the details. I do have one question, which is what would happen if I trade my car in and 15 days from now I say I don't want the car, and they've already sold my they've already sold my trade-in. What happens there? I don't know how we would work things out. Would I want my car back? I don't think that I would want my car back, but would I want my money back? And I don't know how to answer that question. So I'll ask. I don't anticipate that that's going to happen, but I would imagine that if you're trading in a car here at Carmax, at some point, perhaps that's happened. But look at these cars. I mean, these are high-end cars. Look at this Jag. We got a nice Porsche. Got a Cayman. We got a Boxster. We got another Boxster. A lot of Subarus here. Volvos. I mean, this is really kind of a very clean cars. I don't see any jalopies, as we used to call them, right? I mean, look at the Velar over there. A couple of Infinities. You know, they're dealing in some real nice vehicles here, and I think there's over 300 or 400 cars. The gentleman the other night said that, but yeah, these are some beautiful rigs here. Carmax in East Haven, Connecticut. All right, so folks, here it is, the 2021 Tesla Model S. What an awesome looking car. You know, my new friend Aaron here from Carmax, he's going to be delivering the car to me today. And Aaron, tell me a little bit about yourself. How long have you been with Carmax?
I've been at Carmax a little over a year, since July of 2022, or 2021 rather.
Okay.
Started in the business office, been working in the business office here. I love it. I love the culture of Carmax. Everyone's great here. It's like a family.
Good.
And I love cars, so.
So what's the process? I've had a very good experience up till now.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what we're going to be doing today. So first, I'm going to be taking the car out for a test drive, and you were explaining earlier, not everyone does that,
Yeah.
right? And why is that the case?
Yeah, so with Carmax, you have the 30-day money-back guarantee, so a lot of customers feel confident in knowing they have the 30 days regardless, so whether they don't like the car, if anything goes wrong with it, they can return it and get the full refund back. Car enthusiasts like yourself do still want to test drive it, so you do have the option, or you could even do the 24-hour test drive, and you'll have the full day to get comfortable with the car and make the decision.
Right. Okay, good. So after, assuming I like the car, which I think I will.
We hope so. Yeah.
I hope so. If
Yeah.
I don't like the car, there's probably something wrong with me.
Yeah.
But, you know, not only do I have a 30-day money-back guarantee, but the car is also warranted by Tesla, so if anything is wrong with it.
Yeah.
But once I come back from the test drive and say, okay, Aaron, let's do this, what's going to happen then? We've already prearranged all of the paperwork,
Yeah.
but tell me a little bit about the process from this point forward after the test drive.
Yeah, so you had what's called the express pickup, so we already had the paperwork ready. We just had to get the trade-in documents ready. So once you come back, we'll get signing. It'll be a mix of on the computer signing and DMV papers. Shouldn't take more than 15 minutes, and then you'll be free to go.
All right, great. Well, listen, let me hop in this this beauty,
It's a beautiful car.
and I won't go very far. I have a dealer plate on there?
Yep, right in the back.
All right, good, because I don't want to get pulled over, you know what I mean? So, all right, well, let's jump in this thing.
Off I go in my test drive here in the Model S. Oh boy, it is much faster than my car. I can feel it already. A little bit of tire noise, nothing crazy. it feels weird. I remember this in Kyle's car, but maybe not as much as I would have thought. I feel like I'm sitting up quite high because there's no steering wheel here, and I keep trying to put my seat down lower, but I'm actually sitting down pretty low. The sides of the doors are quite high, but I think this process of being able to test drive a car, even as much as 24 hours, makes a lot of sense, because you want to make sure that the car is right for you. So I'm liking what Carmax is doing as far as how they're conducting business, and like I said before, the whole process has been very professional, and including up until today with Aaron. He's doing a great job, and my salesman, the sales manager, and so yeah, so far so good. Do I want to buy this car? I've got an option right now. I could back out, won't cost me anything. So the things that I should be worried about are things like, does it drive right? I know it drives great. I know it's under warranty. I know I have a 30-day money back guarantee. So 100% I'm taking this car. I'm going to go back and buy it. But I do want to drive it right now and kind of get to know it. The other day when I came out to see the car, it was at a 96% state of charge. I put the state of charge down to 80, and it's at an 86% state of charge. So someone drove the car a little while, and which is fine. They got to make sure. Took it down about 10% state of charge. Just want to fix the mirrors here. Kyle seems to think it's led a rough life because of the carbon fiber bits, the T-Sport line wheels, 20-inch turbine wheels. I don't know. Maybe it has, maybe it hasn't. But I'm going to take care of this car. That's for sure. It's got a whir to it, a sound. It's like a turbine. You can just feel the power. Look, this car does 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds. I've never owned a car as fast as this. I hate to say it, but you don't really have to have much skill to get in it and just go. And you just floor it, and it takes off smooth power. And I really want to do some highway cruising here. I want to listen to wind noise, tire noise, see if it pulls left or right. The brakes felt very good. The car feels great. It's just beautiful. Coming into some major traffic here in Long Wharf Drive, Bridgeport, Connecticut. All right, so let's give it a little juice here. Take the lane. Very smooth, very fast. I could get used to this without a doubt. Just a comfortable car, very smooth. The power is effortless. Loving it.
So just in going over the car, it's pretty clean. Couple of the wheels have some curb rash. This one actually is not too bad. I think the other side was a little worse. But in this direct sunlight, you can definitely see this is just dirt here. And then it is one deep gouge here on the hood from a paint standpoint that I'm probably going to have that addressed. But other than that, a little bit of curb rash. I know that we've got the mud flaps. Car drove great. We've got the carbon fiber, these carbon fiber add-on parts, they add 5 miles an hour to the car. 25 horsepower, proven fact. But Kyle's telling me that's the first thing I got to rip off this car, but I kind of like it. I'm not going to do that. But like I mentioned the other night, even though my friend here, Aaron, loves working at Carmax, I got to tell you, that Carmax sign on the back of my car, that's coming off, pal. You know that. You can't say that officially, but that's just me. That's my own prerogative. But then it is one deep gouge here on the hood from a paint standpoint that I'm probably going to have that addressed. But other than that, a little bit of curb rash. I know that we've got the mud flaps. Car drove great. We've got the carbon fiber, you know, these carbon fiber add-on parts, they add 5 miles an hour to the car. 25 horsepower, proven fact. But Kyle's telling me that's the first thing I got to rip off this car, but I kind of like it. I'm not going to do that. But like I mentioned the other night, even though my friend here, Aaron, loves working at Carmax, I got to tell you, that Carmax sign on the back of my car, that's coming off, pal. You know that. You know that. You can't say that officially, but that's just me. That's my own prerogative. But look, so I think we say goodbye to Buzz Lightbeer. The Model S keeps opening and closing the doors because I got the key on me, the key fob. And look, you've been a good car. You're the car that got me back into Tesla, and you were the stepping stone. You were the transition piece to this. We got to think of a good name. So let's go in and buy this car. So the process here, I guess, to buy the car, first we have to deal with the trade-in. They're going to do a checklist, and one of the first things Aaron said is they have to deactivate the account. And I thought that was great. I already did it, I told him. So he was like, wow, thank you very much. Well, what I like is the fact that they knew to do that, right? Not every car dealership does. Case in point, when I bought this car, I had all the information from the previous owner at the Infiniti dealer, which is really not right or not fair. I guess maybe the previous owner should have done that himself. But listen, my advice is if you're selling a Tesla, make sure you do a firm reboot and a factory reset on your car. That way all of your data is secure. So I'll say goodbye to this car, and it's been good. Well, it's official. She's all mine now. Signed. Aaron did a great job explaining all the paperwork. Everything was online, super organized. This is an exciting day. This car really is fantastic. Very happy with this. And I appreciate all of you sticking along for this adventure of picking up my car today here from Carmax. Great experience. Right. But listen, I want to thank you for everything. You were awesome. You did a great job.
Thank you.
The paperwork it all made sense to me. You know, everything was done on the computer in terms of being able to sign. You know, like I'm used to DocuSign at work,
Yeah.
right? And you just click and
Pretty simple.
It's so simple. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Aaron, you did a great job. I'm very proud of you. Keep your head down. You're going to go places in life, I am sure.
I appreciate it.
All right,
Thank you,
man.
Dave.
Enjoy. So thank you for watching another episode of Out of Spec Dave, where I'm super happy, super thrilled with this purchase. I'm going to be making lots of videos with this. I need to get a CCS adapter. I was hoping Kyle might just hook me up with one, but he said, Google it. You'll figure out where to buy the thing. So anyway, I'm super happy. Thank you again for watching another episode of Out of Spec Dave, and have a good one. We'll talk to you soon.